I have some other topics that we could talk about. But
What do you got?
World Champs coming up, or COD Champs coming up.
Oh yeah, that's coming
And
The COD players barely care about the COD championships.
oh, they
coming
care
out.
a little bit,
That's
but
true.
I mean,
Well, they have to care. There's $1 million on the line, but they don't
Yeah.
really. They're
Let's
not excited.
Most
talk about how
teams care.
awful Ghost is.
Ghost
Yeah.
is pretty terrible. There's been some
It's
pretty,
still our favorite topic.
We do that all the time.
There's been some pretty large game flaws in the thing, but
Connor, you were defending it to death when
Yeah.
it first came out.
the gameplay. I mean, one thing that kind of sold me is when the damn company released the wrong map pack when the game
That was
came
great.
out. They
That was
released the wrong
As it
map.
turns out, they
love
don't
that.
have their stuff together.
Yeah, apparently they don't, but there's some flaw. But for the most part, I mean, they're listening to people. They put out the COD Esport rules. They changed clan wars. They fixed most of the. They fixed pub spawns for the most part.
Yeah.
Competitive spawns are still a little.
As far as
sporadic.
Infinity Ward as a developer goes, this has by far been like they're streets ahead of where they were in all their previous titles in terms of like responsiveness to the community.
Shut your mouth about Modern Warfare 2.
I didn't say it's a better game than Modern Warfare 2. I'm saying they're listening to community
They're
feedback.
listening.
They
Yeah.
listened a lot in Modern Warfare 2.
They didn't. What did they patch ever?
The TAR? The TAR was
Okay.
the greatest gun ever.
So they nerfed the tar. Like Infinity Ward has
That's
been
not
like,
fun,
notorious
yeah.
for never listening to anyone about anything.
Especially
Like, they
competitive.
have added a lot. They've been almost
Broadcast.
straight
I don't know if
up
you guys have
that.
seen.
I mean, this game still
the
sucks, and I
broadcaster
hate it with passion, but like,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying,
don't
like, wow, why is that something to brag about that they've been listening to people if even
no, I'm just
after
saying
listening to
step in
people,
the right
if the
direction.
game is still bad?
I'm trying to give them some kind of props.
We should,
like,
we should applaud improvement. If a stoner goes 2 weeks without getting high, I mean, sure, he got high the day after
Well,
the 2
yeah,
weeks,
but
but he
you're,
went 2 weeks
you're saying
sober.
we should applaud Michael Bay for Transformers 3 because it was an improvement over Transformers 2. That doesn't matter. It's still a bad
give
game.
You gotta give him
You take a
something,
bad
though.
game of Ghosts and you patch it to make it slightly better, and it's still a bad game. Why do you
right
applaud
now-
that? It's not
Right
something
now,
to
I wouldn't
applaud.
even
It's
say
like
it.
trying to put Febreze on dog shit. It's not gonna make it look better.
Because like at least they're like aware now, and like
The thing is,
willing
if
to
you, I don't know if you guys have paid
compromise
attention
because
at all.
Modern Warfare 3 was a bad game, and you know what their response was? Well, you paid $60 for it, so F you, and then they walked away from it. Like, so at least as like a studio that is aware of what their like fan base is talking about, like they have progressed in that area. I didn't
don't know
say
if you
that
guys have-
praising them. I guess I am to some extent, but this is a very faint praise. I'm not saying like, oh, Infinity Ward's the best.
This is
I
an
love
air
them. I
pat
hope
on the
they
back.
make
It's not
everything
even
they
actual
can.
pat. But I don't know if you guys have watched it or played it recently, but it really doesn't have much problem. Like now, people are used to like how the game works. The game was just a lot different.
Well,
Damn.
why did like Clayster tweet the other night like, I can't believe we're playing this for $1 million. I'm so freaking done.
It's because Treyarch did such a good job making the game predictable, while this game has almost a random element to it, so like it causes a lot of like issues. Kind of like how StarCraft works. Like there is, I mean, I say this loosely, but there can be a random element to it. Like you can randomly scout an area because you think, oh, you know, he might put something there. Like there's almost a luck in something. Like some people say, like, oh no, he predicted that, but sometimes maybe the guy was like scratching his balls and he misclicked on the map and happened to scout a proxy 2 racks or something.
I'm
Like
pretty sure that's how Stefano is scouted every season. Stefano's sixth game sense. He's just like, F it, and he just like
he was
slaps
actually
them out.
slightly drunk, and he just like misclicked. He's like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "Well, may as well scout there." But and so like, there's no major flaws in the game. No one's spawning on enemy blitz points anymore, as like TP did. No one's getting knifed through walls. You know, there's no. It's
Rambo just knifed a guy from 10 feet away through a wall like last week.
He knifed someone from really far away. It
So
wasn't through a
still
wall, but
knifing problem. But
the biggest, the knife it's usable,
Dumb.
which people don't like at all. People are like, the knife is a thing, which people
Yeah.
are like, that's dumb. We're used to Black Ops where I never had to click my B button or hit the right trigger.
And then it made like a
My
nice
problem is that we're accepting the fact that the bar was set so low. that-
It's not low though. It's different. It's
No,
not.
it was set low. At the beginning of the game, it was so damn low that now that we're almost to the point of Modern Warfare... No, we're not. We're not to Modern Warfare 2. We're probably past Modern Warfare 3 because that game was a pile of dog shit, but
I
we're
would say
not to Modern Warfare 2.
on the
We're
competitive
slightly above the bar of original Ghosts, and that's somehow perceived as a good thing. because it's
Well,
better than the original Ghost launch.
Let me say that
not-
I never said that Ghost is anything good. Like, I quit playing and I started this off by saying, hey, let's make fun of Ghost again because it sucks. Like, I still don't like this game at all, but I'm willing to acknowledge that, like, this is the first title where I feel like Infinity Ward has been aware of their fan base, or, well, fan base,
their players.
customer base, and
Some people are fans.
made changes. And I do think maybe this game is getting a little more like, the gameplay feels smooth and fluid more so than any other Call of Duty. It was like, the balance was, I mean, you just die so freaking fast. And there's a lot of other weird little things that everyone doesn't like about it, myself included. But, like,
I'm disagreeing with you because I don't think just listening and attempting to implement something that's going to try and fix that's not something to applaud. Actually making changes that are worth making changes.
They've made a lot
that
of
didn't make any sense
changes
at all.
in this game. Like, and if you don't know that, like, then you just haven't
have to
been
look at
like
the competitive.
because they've added good things. They've added things that people wouldn't have expected them to add. Like,
The broadcaster mode.
To.
I can say this: the broadcaster mode, miles ahead of what Black Ops 2 had and what Treyarch did. It is significantly better. They have the entire map is color coded. You can see where enemies are through the walls as the broadcaster, so you always know where everyone is on the map. They have it's a much more fluid thing. It's miles ahead of what Treyarch did.
Streets Edge.
But here's the thing. If the pros are still shitting all over your game, then how much better is it really?
They're angry because
you're talking about the Call of Duty pros.
Yeah, you're talking about Call of Duty pros.
I understand your argument, but you also have to understand, like, Call of Duty pros hate everything they play, and will always complain about everything.
They didn't hate Black Ops 2.
The European pros?
Yeah, there was plenty of complaining about Black Ops.
The European pros have not
you followed Black Ops 2 more seriously than Connor and I did.
Well, I still followed it.
There were complaints
a lot more than both of you.
There was still tons of complaining. Did you ever hear of the FOUL or the caps?
Oh,
the cap 40?
Me and Brendan
You just cut out. I couldn't hear what you said.
Did you hear of the FOUL or the cap 40s? There were some complaints about that, I heard.
Those things are brutal. But see, the thing is,
Pro Black Ops had none of this. Like, Pro Modern or Pro Ghosts has so many people just flaming all over everything about the game, and Pro Black Ops people were happy to be playing Black Ops.
The big thing
Part
is,
of it, I think, that it came from a lower expectation point. Like, they just came off of Modern Warfare 3. They were thrilled.
No. Black Ops 1.
Happy.
No, I'm talking about Black Ops 1.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the FAMAS was the only gun used in that game. Like, now we're at a point. We're now at a point, at least, where, like, we can talk about balance across a game, like, across an array of guns, and not just like, yeah, the FAMAS is really good. Just use the FAMAS. Like, people at least to a point where, like, they could use different guns. Like, so that, I mean, there's some progress that I feel like you can't deny. Yeah, there's all kinds of other issues, certainly, but, like,
I mean, like, StarCraft isn't even there right now. I mean, you just play Protoss and win.
The problem here is that in the pro scene there, everyone was using the FAMAS, sure, but then it was all based on gameplay and on skill level, and people were okay to accept that. And then they added in the fact that they wanted there to be some sort of gun balance across the board, and they implemented it so poorly that it shifted the game in a very bad way.
But something you have to look at is also,
I'm saying that the fact that they tried to add in all these extra guns for the competitive scene in order to have this balance aspect to it changed the game for the worse.
If you talk to a pro player right now who's shitting on the game and say what is bad about Ghost, I guarantee they would not have a solid argument against it. They're saying the game is bad because they haven't played an actual LAN tournament in like a month and a half now, 2 months almost, and Ghost is extremely host dependent online. It is extremely host dependent. Like, it's ridiculous how much host gives you a benefit, which isn't so much shitting on the game, the actual game mechanic. It's just like internet and servers and stuff like that, which obviously, I mean, that's a whole other argument. But I guarantee probably after COD Champs, there's going to be a lot better look on the game in general, depending on how the tournament, depending on how Infinity Ward runs it, or I guess Infinity Ward participates in the tournament, whatnot. But, like, for the most part, I'd say none of them have a legitimate argument of, like, why the game sucks. But, like, it basically is, if you look at they're doing this MLG Winter League thing where they play matches every night and they like keep track and they get seeding for stuff. And if you look at the games won, whichever team hosted more games in the best of 5 won, like almost 100% of the time. It's very, very rarely do teams win off host. And so like that's what they're all really angry about, is like host is 100% everything in the game right now on a pro level. Obviously on a pub level it doesn't even matter, but so like most of them don't actually have a legitimate argument against the gameplay as much as they have an argument against like how much they're getting bullshitted online.
I think that's pretty fair. So Ethan, you're telling me that you think that the game should be, I mean, maybe this is not true, and correct me if I'm not, it's not, but are you saying that there should only be like one gun, like that everyone's using across the board, so then it does come down to just pure skill and teamwork and not at all? Like, do you not
Almost
like AR submachine gun rolls?
No, I'm saying that a single gun skill-based game is a far better scenario than a game that is based on different guns that are not balanced well.
The thing is, the reason that it's not a single gun is because they are balanced. Like, you can use other guns. Like, if you want to use the sub, you can use the MTAR, you can use the Bison, you can use the Vector. If you want to use an AR, you can use the Remington, you can use the SC210 sometimes. LMGs are viable in competitive. Thermal LMGs are viable. 2 snipers are viable. The USR and the L115 are both, or whatever it is now, it's like the L112 are both viable. Pistols are even being used occasionally. So, and grenades are all over the place. There's, I mean, 2 different kind of grenades, which isn't that big a deal, but, and there's also, with the amount of perks that you can have, like Complexity just developed a strategy where they use sit rep, which is, you know, see enemy equipment through walls, because trophy systems are used so much to get bombs down. So you can see when they plant the trophy systems and then shoot through walls and stuff and try and get them off bombs. And so, like, there's a lot more diversity instead of just saying, like, it'd be like, it's the difference between a Call of Duty game and a game like Shoot Mania, where you have your little generic laser pistol and the other team has 3 generic, like, rocket things. And it's just who can react faster.
All right, so let me throw out this argument then. Has it been that balanced this entire time? Has it been this balanced since November?
No, but neither was Black Ops, so...
Well, but my argument is that Black Ops was fine because it was all completely FAMAS.
But it wasn't like that at the very beginning of the game either.
No, it was absolutely like that at the very beginning of the game.
People didn't know it at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I mean, at week 1, I mean, now that the game is leveled out more, I mean, I think it's the same thing. I mean, it was the first 2 months of the game, and there was only like 2 LAN tournaments. So, I mean,
you know, I would take the state of Ghosts and Black Ops 2 in terms of weapon balance. Like, I would take it over the single gun balance. Like, there's more pros complaining because there's just more to complain about. Like, pros in Black Ops 1, their complaint was like, this game is like...
Why is that a good thing, though? If there's more to complain about, why is that a good thing?
There's more diversity.
Well, here, let me finish this argument. It's like, there's more to complain about because there's more going on in the game. That's just like, oh man, there's more... Because the COD players are whiny people by nature, right? Like, the people who play COD are whiny. And it's like, oh my god, I have to think. There are strategies now. I have to understand how far that gun can kill me from as opposed to that gun. When in Black Ops 1, one gun killed me from anywhere. Like, there's a level of variety now that I think the players just like are. A lot of the players suck at grasping. But like, Complexity doesn't bag on this game very much at all. Who's the best team in this game? As of now, like, you can't really argue against Complexity because there hasn't been another LAN. Like, they're just another top pro team online. Like, they don't bag on the game that much. They understand, like, and they play strategies well. They mix it up well. Like, I think people just complain because they have to know more than they used to.
But hey, Sledgehammer.
Yeah, because Modern Warfare
That'll be interesting.
So good.
We'll see how that happens.
You gotta give them this. You gotta give them this. The level designer, who's like the head honcho on the thing, was really good. I like Modern Warfare 3 maps a lot.
What?
I'm sorry.
What's wrong with Modern Warfare 3 maps?
Everything.
What's wrong with them? Point out some flaws.
They existed. Is my main complaint about Modern Warfare 3.
Tell me something wrong with Modern Warfare 3 maps.
They're entirely
Dome was
forgettable.
the best map in the game.
They had what? What did Coley say? I didn't hear what Coley said.
Dome was the best map in the game.
Arguably. That was the best competitive map.
They were entirely forgettable.
How so? Like because stuff didn't blow up and create new map environment?
No,
They
I don't
didn't.
even
They
like.
didn't in Bog either. They didn't in Shipment. They didn't in
I'm
Terminal.
saying like
There
what do you mean by
some-
forgettable?
There are some legendary maps.
I can't think of
like,
a single map from like Ghosts or Black Ops 2 where I'm like that map will stay in my mind forever. It's like they're
Black
all just
Ops
maps.
2 had some great maps.
Standoff.
Standoff,
One of
number
my
one.
favorites.
Raid.
I mean,
Raid
Standoff
is
was
good.
like
I like
Standoff.
Plaza
I
a
did
lot.
not like Raid because of the head glitches on Raid. They were way too good. Like the entire first hill was of ridiculous head glitches where you could only see the top of a dude's head.
Yeah, but both
I mean,
sides
the thing
had
is,
head
Standoff,
glitches. Like
everybody had one.
everybody
but,
had a head glitch to play off of.
Battle of the head glitches isn't as fun in my opinion.
But anyway,
Well, that was only
Battle
one
of the
hard
ARs.
point.
yeah, I mean,
That was
that's-
one instance in one game
that's
type.
1/5
I mean, the
and,
money head glitch, the garage was okay. I liked the garage hill, but I'm just thinking of hardpoint because hardpoint is life.
Like,
So
Standoff was absolutely great. Oh my gosh, there were definitely other maps like I was like, oh yeah, this map.
well, like in Modern Warfare 3,
So,
like
so here's the thing. I played a little bit of Modern Warfare, a ton of Modern Warfare 2, and a lot of Black Ops, and there were a lot of maps in all three of those games that every time it showed up, I would say, yes, it's this map.
like
And
firing
every-
range.
Every
Shipment.
Fire Range, Shipment, Terminal, like all Quarry.
I did not like
even.
Shipment because I sucked at that map.
All
Dude,
of those.
Shipment is
And
the shit.
every single map that showed up in Modern Warfare 3, and I played a lot of Modern Warfare 3, every map that came up, I was like, oh, great. This one.
Yeah, it's like
I hate
oh
this
hard
one.
hat. Oh,
Yeah, hard hat.
alright,
God.
hard hat. Like I don't like
Screw
hard hat.
this.
It was like one that I voted in that game based on like which map sucks less, and I was like, I was my mentality. I was like, oh, this map
I
sucks.
liked the
less than
3v3
that.
maps in that game a lot. I liked both the 3v3 maps in that game a lot.
I liked. Oh well, you can't talk about the 3v3
Hey,
maps.
it's the
in
level
terms of-
designer. It's the same guy. I mean,
But that's not at all the scale he's going to be designing like these maps on.
You don't know
Like, those
that.
are just fun little throwaway maps. Like he like never had any intention of using them for anything else.
I mean, those are our most recent maps that he's created that we have to look at. So I mean,
No, there
you ever think
first
he
of all
made?
there were five.
You ever think he made the maps and was like, wait, let me rethink
There were
this
5
and
or
do
6
this?
3v3 maps, and most of them came out with map packs that had full size maps.
I saw one.
Which means they start as full-size maps and they scale them down to 3v3.
Yeah. Which I mean, and the 3v3 maps were good. I'm assuming. I mean,
I did like the 3v3 maps. They were they were
And there's-
fun, but they didn't work well for competitive at all.
no, but they were good. I liked them. Besides that,
Yeah,
I
they were
realize all
fun
I've been
maps,
playing for the
sure,
last
but-
3 weeks is pubs. So all I've been playing for the last 3 weeks has been pubs. So I'm thinking out of like a pub perspective. Maps that
I'm
I
just-
have fun playing.
I'm thinking on an enjoyment perspective.
Yeah,
There's not a
maps that I
single
have.
one. There's not a single one in Modern Warfare 3 that I liked.
I liked Hard Hat, to be honest. I think the
Hard
map
Hat
was very like.
and that's
What?
here's the thing. My favorite map was Arcaden, and Arcaden was okay.
I don't even remember Arcaden, to be honest. It
Exactly.
was Terminal. That was
German
Terminal. Wasn't it? That was the.
shopping
No,
Oh,
arcade.
Okay, no, yeah. Yeah. I liked Arcaden was okay. I never knew the map because
It was by far my favorite map because it was the only one where I was like, oh, I like Arcaden.
All right, if anybody's watching out there, thanks for watching. I know we talked about some crazy, weird things and went off weird tangents and argued a lot about Call of Duty and Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3 and 2 and all that jazz. But hopefully the next game's going to be a lot better. Anyways, signing off tonight. So next week, hopefully we'll all be on again. We'll talk some more about video games. Hopefully I'll have a topic for all of you. So, all right, I'll see you all later.